Hello, Sunday School teachers. This is Pastor Cholak. Welcome. This week we are covering Enduring Faith Bible Curriculum for Sunday School from Concordia Publishing House. We're in Unit 9, Lesson 11. And this one is called Paul's Prison Protection. It comes to us from the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 23, verses 12 to 24. Hear the word of the Lord. When it was day, the Jews made a plot and bound themselves by an oath neither to eat nor drink till they had killed Paul. There were more than 40 who made this conspiracy. They went to the chief priests and elders and said, "We have strictly bound ourselves by an oath to taste no food till we have killed Paul. Now therefore you, along with the council, give notice to the tribune to bring him down to you, as though you were going to determine his case more exactly. And we are ready to kill him before he comes near." Now the son of Paul's sister heard of their ambush, so he went and entered the barracks and told Paul. Paul called one of the centurions and said, "Take this young man to the tribune, for he has something to tell him." So he took him and brought him to the tribune and said, "Paul the prisoner called me and asked me to bring this young man to you, as he has something to say to you." The tribune took him by the hand, and going aside, asked him privately, "What is it that you have to tell me?" And he said, "The Jews have agreed to ask you to bring Paul down to the council tomorrow, as though they were going to inquire somewhat more closely about him. But do not be persuaded by them, for more than 40 of their men are lying in ambush for him, and have bound themselves by an oath neither to eat nor drink till they have killed him. And now they are ready, waiting for your consent." So the tribune dismissed the young man, charging him, "Tell no one that you have informed me of these things." Then he called 2 of the centurions and said, "Get ready 200 soldiers, with 70 horsemen, and 200 spearmen to go as far as Caesarea in the 3rd hour of the night. Also provide mounts for Paul to ride, and bring him safely to Felix the governor." This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So here we are towards the end of the Acts of the Apostles. The Jews are exceedingly upset. I should say the religious establishment of the Jews is exceedingly upset at Paul, who has now returned to Jerusalem to preach the good news about Jesus. And they have a small subset here of 40 men who have bound themselves with a vow to kill Paul. Now, catechism connection here. This is an oath for a future activity, which is forbidden by the 2nd commandment. We say, "You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God." What does this mean? We should fear and love God so that we do not curse, swear, use satanic arts, lie, or deceive by his name, but call upon it in every trouble, pray, praise, and give thanks. Here, these conspirators are vowing to do evil. In fact, to break the 5th commandment, "You shall not murder." We should fear and love God so that we do not hurt or harm our neighbor in his body, but help and support him in every physical need, and to bring to naught the work of the gospel. Now, the Holy Spirit's not going to allow this. It's not time for Paul. And so this young man, Paul's sister's son, his nephew, comes and tells Paul about this, and Paul arranges it so that the tribune can hear, which then the tribune dismisses the man, saying, "Don't tell anybody that you've told me," in order to keep him safe. And then he orchestrates a safe passage for Paul to Felix the governor. Now, Felix is who has replaced Pilate. We know the famous Pontius Pilate, no longer the governor. Now it is Felix, and Felix will hear Paul's case. Now, a few other things perhaps we could say here. Paul is in chains, right? He is being held because of the work of the religious establishment there in Jerusalem. who have brought charges against him. And they now know, the Tribune now knows that he is a citizen of Rome, and so there's special protections for him from those who would do bad or evil to him. They are going to take him to Caesarea, and this is interesting. During the Passover, the governor moves to Jerusalem in order to to watch the festivities and to make sure that there aren't any problems. Normally, the place for the governor to be is in Caesarea, named after Caesar, of course. And so Paul needs to be taken to be transported to Caesarea in order to see the governor. I hope you enjoy the study of this week's lesson, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me. God's peace.